Good early afternoon. Good early Wednesday afternoon. After the Google Cloud outburst yesterday, we are joining you on Wednesday. I'm Andy Andrews. This is the Blue Plate Special. And as I said, we are live. Thank God. We are live here from Wisdom Harbor Studios in Orange Beach, Alabama at the Wharf, home of the famous escalator statues. Also home of the famous Sand Dollar Lifestyles. Like the shirt? It's a Yeti shirt. And Sand Dollar has jillions of shirts. They have, they're the cornerstone of the Wharf. Their store is as big as 10 football fields put together, almost. We are glad to have you here. If you're new to us and you're joining on Facebook, thank you. We would urge you to turn your notifications on and press that notification button. Turn the notifications on your phone. Press the notification button there on the Facebook page. That way you'll be notified when we are live. And also, would you please share? Please share. There's a share button there, and you can share what's going on here live to your page. It'll be live to your page. Or if you're watching this later, you can share it and just simulate the live on your page. I'd like to welcome the LinkedIn people in your suits and the Twitter folks and YouTube guys. If you're on YouTube, press that subscribe button, and that would help. Okay, Diane Hale, hey, from Tennessee. Maureen Hink, good evening here. Where are you? It says good evening. She's probably on the other side of the world somewhere. Patricia Jones from Conroe, Texas. Jeanette Proctor from Arlington, Texas. Hannah Gadlich, hi to you. We're glad you're here. Joy Gregory, hey. And she said hi to Hannah too. So you thought this was Thursday, Dally? Yeah, I know. It's this is Wednesday. This is not in place of tomorrow. This is because of yesterday. Marcy Crossell Taylor, it is Wednesday. Glad to see you from Pasco, Washington. Sonny and Cole. Margaret Davis Hope from Northeast Mississippi. We got a good show. We've got a good show. Patricia Clapp from North Carolina, you shared. Thank you very much. Sherry Flowers Merklin from Cape Coral, Florida. Bill Kent from Robertsdale, a neighbor. Okay. You know, in Robertsdale, you know, when Orange Beach and Gulf Shores football teams would play Robertsdale, you guys would always just kill us. And my wife would sit up in the stands and she'd go, well, send some of those big guys down here and let us play them in skimboarding on the beach. My sister, Christy, you shared. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate that. Les Dawson from Utah. Deanna Kilpatrick, and you shared. Good afternoon to you. Jack Whitcup from Austin, Minnesota. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. You mean a lot to us. Ricky Birch. Hey, you were notified. All right. Hey, we got a great show today, and we are going to do a specific thing about language, and these we'll tell you in a minute what we're going to do. It's going to be really good. But I wanted to just let you know at first. Last week, while I was gone, the team announced a contest to the VIP mailing list, which offered a unique opportunity to have me create a personalized holiday video. And this personalized holiday video can be for you, a friend, a family member, a coworker, your pet, anybody. But the VIPs had 6 days to submit their contest entries. Now I'm sharing it with you, and you have until midnight tonight to enter if you're not on the VIP list. Okay, so to enter, all you need to do is post a picture of your favorite product of mine. This could be a book or a CD or T-shirts, Just Jones Java, anything from andyandrews.com, and post a picture to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or any social media platform with the hashtag Andy Andrews VIP. Okay, now that's hashtag Andy Andrews VIP. My team will be looking through all the photos and choosing their favorites. The person with the most creative photo will be selected, and you only need one great photo to win, but you can enter as many as 5. You can enter 5 times. So one thing to note about entering is we need to be able to see your post, meaning they need to be public. So if you're posting from your phone, here are a couple of quick steps. First, tap the 3 little dots on the top right corner of your post. Then tap the Edit Privacy option. Select Public, and then hit Done. Now we'll actually know when you use hashtag Andy Andrews VIP, and you'll be in the contest. Okay, true fact. Today is a historic milestone on the Blue Plate Special. First and foremost, with our live studio audience in attendance, we'll talk about unnecessary redundancies. Okay, now let me say that again, because I'm not sure if you caught that. Let me just say all that again. True fact. Okay, now the true fact is that true fact is an unnecessary redundancy, because if it's a fact, it is true. Okay, so true fact. Today is a historic milestone. Historic milestone is an unnecessary redundancy. First and foremost is an unnecessary redundancy, because if it's first and and with our live studio audience in attendance, that's an unnecessary redundancy. If it's a studio audience, it's live, and if it's live, they're in attendance. And so today we're going to talk about unnecessary redundancies, which unnecessary redundancy is actually an unnecessary redundancy. Tammy Nance, hey. Are you already home? Good grief. All right, so here are some unnecessary redundancies that we hear all the time. I want to warn you in advance. A warning is in advance. Okay, so that's an unnecessary redundancy. But how many times do we hear that? Hey, I want to warn you in advance now. Okay. Well, this has evolved over time. Okay, well, if it has evolved, it would be over time, wouldn't it? Now, I want you to revert back to what we were talking about earlier. Revert back is an unnecessary redundancy, because if you're going to revert, you're going to go back, okay? But at this point in the Blue Plate Special on unnecessary redundancies, we will proceed ahead. If you're going to proceed, you will be going ahead, okay? Unnecessary redundancies. Are you getting these? This is pretty amazing to me how many of them we use. So, we're not going to honor it or anything. Shelley Hess, good afternoon. We're not going to honor these unnecessary redundancies by kneeling down. If you're kneeling, that would be down, wouldn't it? Okay. We will instead rise up. Rise up. Unnecessary redundancy. If you're going to rise, which way is it going to be? We're not going to rise down. We're going to rise up. Unnecessary and redundant. Jen Andrews, you liking this? Okay. Spliced together. Well, if it's spliced, it would be together. wouldn't it? Kay Austin, laugh out loud. That would be one, wouldn't it? Because if you're going to laugh, it will be out loud. I mean, you don't see many people going, thank you, Kay. Becky Clark says her favorite is to reduce down. Yeah, we're going to reduce this down. An added bonus. If it's a bonus, it would be added, wouldn't it? Unnecessary, redundant, yes. How about this one? I hear this a lot. What time are you going to be here? 5 a.m. in the morning. Okay, as opposed to that 5 a.m. in the evening that you hear about sometimes. I love this one. I hear this. This is something that particularly gets my goat, and it's when people say, "Oh, look, it's a baby lamb. Oh, it's a baby calf." Well, if it's a lamb or a calf, it is a baby. It's a baby lamb. It's a baby. Look, it's a lamb. It's a calf. You know, while I'm thinking about this lamb, calf thing, Best Life magazine did some research into, I just thought this was very weird. They did research into what kind of men are most likely to cheat on their spouses. And specifically, they lined it up with, and what they dug into was what kind of pets are preferred by cheaters. So the answer was very interesting, though, I thought, and really said a lot. The study showed clearly that the men most likely to cheat on their wives overwhelmingly prefer as pets dogs and cats. How informative. I mean, golly. Okay. All right, here's another unnecessary redundancy. That would be foreign import. Is that a foreign import? No, it's a domestic import. Foreign import. When you think about it, if you're in England or Italy, a Budweiser would be an imported beer. It should be one of those fancy imports. Kevin Corcoran says, when I was younger. Yep. When I was younger. Oh, here, this one, this one gets me because I think that this is an unnecessary redundancy that is just so obvious, but I hear it a lot. And that's just an overused cliche. It's an overused cliche. A cliche is a cliche because it is overused. So an overused cliche is another way of saying that is a cliche. The palm of my hand. How about this? Past history tells us that, past history, if it is history, you can be sure it's in the past. And if it's in the past, it's history. Yeah. And the opposite of that too, future plans. Well, we have some future plans. Plans are for the future. Yes, they are. And this is another thing I actually read, is that, and I just read this yesterday, talking about somebody's future plans. Shares of Johnson and Johnson jumped in pre-market trading the other day after this healthcare giant, Johnson and Johnson, announced it is splitting itself into two publicly traded companies. One of the new companies will be focused on consumer products like Band-Aids and baby powder, while the other will focus on prescription drugs and medical devices. The first of the two new companies, they're splitting it in part, and the first of the two new companies will be named Johnson, and the second one will be named Johnson. It's not true. I mean, they really are splitting it up. They are splitting it up in two companies, but I don't know what they're calling it. But it just seemed pretty obvious to me that if you're splitting up Johnson and Johnson into two publicly traded companies, you'd name one of them. You'd just okay, you can have the first half of the name. We'll take the second half of the name. First one would be Johnson. Next would be Johnson. That's just a brief summary of what's going on. Brief summary, of course, is an unnecessary redundancy. I don't know if these things are worth anything. Are these worth anything? Unnecessary redundancies? Ought to be worth cash money. Cash money. Deanna Kirkpatrick, you like that Johnson Johnson thing? Yep. It's the exact same. That's an unnecessary redundancy. Exact same. That's the exact same. Is the ice frozen yet? If it's ice, it's frozen. You know, have you heard people say, could I have some frozen ice? Really? Some iced ice? I would like some frozen ice. I would like some unfrozen ice. Could I?
Yeah, with my liquid water.
Yeah. Could I have a glass of unfrozen ice? I need to take these aspirin. Oh, Stephen Gromer. Yeah, that's a good one. Might possibly. It might possibly. If it's possible, yeah, it might. And if it might, it's possibly. Join together. And that's in wedding vows. Join together. If it's going to be together, it will be joined. If you join it, it'll be together. Empty space. How about that? Empty space. Yancey Annette Mary Harwell says, we are ruining the whole English language for her. Okay. Jen Andrews says that we have chewy ice in Savannah. Chewy ice. Is that the kind that like they have at Sonic? This is like that kind of mushy ice.
That's the best kind of ice. I love their ice.
That's what Polly says too. Polly likes that Sonic ice. So, basic fundamentals. Now we're going to get down to some basic fundamentals here. I mean, when you're exploring them like this, they sound stupid. I mean, they don't sound that bad in normal conversation, but when you explain them, I'm going to do this manually by hand. It just sounds stupid, but we all do this. I mean, or at least we might possibly do it. How about this one? I'm going to split this into two equal halves. Or what would you do? Split it into into two unequal halves?
I guess.
I guess.
That's
I
a
don't
sneaky
know.
one, though.
Now, we're not trying to ruin the English language for you. That's not our regular routine. If it's regular, it is routine. Right? Sandra Mendonca says she likes Sonic Ice too. And I guess as we close today, we're just glad to have been on the air. But as we close today, I'll leave you with this. Always remember, there are two kind of people. The kind who finish what they start, and the other kind who, well, you know what I'm talking about. Remember to hear all about our future contests, promotions, and exclusive content. Be sure to join the VIP list at andyandrews.com and spread the word, okay? VIP list, andyandrews.com. Get on the coupon codes, all the discounts. The Black Friday people are going to be very happy who are on the VIP list. So anyway, love you guys. Bye-bye.